The euro, the common currency of the European Union, has slowly lost value over the previous year and is currently roughly equal in value to the US dollar. The euro is currently worth slightly over $1 and the lowest value it's been in 20 years, down from a value of nearly $1.22 at the end of May 2021. Want to find out more? Make sure to stay tuned until the end to find out. Hey guys, welcome back to Economy Expert. Today in this video we'll be discussing how the euro and the dollar have been equal in such a long time and what caused that to happen. A 2-decade low in the euro's value against the dollar was reached on Wednesday, which is excellent news for Americans visiting Europe this summer. When making purchases abroad, tourists' money will stretch further thanks to a favorable exchange rate. The time is right to take that dream vacation you've been putting off to Italy, France or Spain, according to travel writer Kate McCauley, who lives in the Czech Republic and is the publisher of the website adventurouskate.com. Right now, your money's going further in Europe than it has been in quite a few years, she said. Only 19 out of the 27 members of the European Union utilize the euro as their official currency. Austria, Belgium, Cyprus, Estonia, Finland, France, Germany, Greece, Ireland, Italy, Latvia, Lithuania, Luxembourg, Malta, the Netherlands, Portugal, Slovakia, Slovenia and Spain are among those nations. On Wednesday morning, the euro and the US dollar achieved parity, or a 1:1 exchange rate. Since 2002, when the euro was first introduced, that hasn't happened. On Wednesday, the euro briefly traded at $0.9999 before beginning a slow recovery. The prolonged conflict in Ukraine has stoked concerns about an oil shortage and a recession, while rising US interest rates have driven investors away from the euro and towards the dollar, which have both contributed to the relative depreciation of the euro. The price of €1 is down 11% from around $1.13 at the start of the year and down 15% from $1.18 on July 13th of last year. For instance, an American would have paid around $17.7 for a sandwich in Paris last year that cost €15. That traveler would spend now just over $15. Sarah Rathner, a travel specialist at NerdWallet, says it's comparable to receiving a 15% discount. It's kinder to people's travel budgets, she continued. In the past year, the US dollar has strengthened in comparison to numerous other currencies, including the Australian dollar, British pound, Chinese yuan, Indian rupee and Japanese yen. The timing of that discount is favorable because it is now quite expensive to visit practically anywhere and everywhere due to the persistently high inflation rate. According to the US Travel Association's Travel Price Index, prices for domestic travel in the US for things like flights, housing, activities and meals were over 19% more in May than they were at the same time in 2019, even before the pandemic. Domestic travel expenses have increased by more than 19% over the previous year, but the group noted that this is partially due to comparisons to the low pricing experienced during the pandemic. The recent elimination of a COVID-19 testing requirement for overseas passengers traveling to the US and also the lifting of a separate mask mandate on flights are only two variables that have increased Americans' enthusiasm for international travel. According to destination analysts, a company that does tourism market research, about 34% of Americans plan to travel abroad this year, an increase of 6 percentage points in a month. From June 15th to 23rd, the company surveyed 4,000 tourists. According to destination analysts, European destinations made up 6 of the top 10 most frequently mentioned international locations when asked to pick the places they most desire to travel in the upcoming 12 months. According to Expedia data, there was a double-digit rise in flight searches to some popular European destinations between July 3rd and July 11th compared to the prior week. Flight searches from Paris and Frankfurt both increased by 25%, while interest in Brussels and Amsterdam increased by 20% apiece, as well as Dublin by 15%. According to Hotels.com, hotel interest has increased in various cities. The number of searches for lodging increased 30% in Copenhagen, 15% in Athens and 10% in Madrid. Travel has become more expensive, according to Rathner, but folks want to go back outside. People are eager to go once more, she continued. When it's feasible, Americans who want to benefit from the favorable exchange rate should use a credit card without a foreign transaction fee. These fees, according to Rathner, can raise the price of each purchase by up to 3%, negating the benefits of the euro-dollar exchange rate. She suggested bringing a second credit card, if you do have one, in case your original one wasn't recognized by all businesses. According to Rathner, this is typically caused by different card brands. While Visa and MasterCard are commonly accepted worldwide, this isn't always the case with American Express and Discover. Additionally, Macaulay added, tourists who reserve hotels or tours in advance and have the choice of being charged now or later may choose to pay now to ensure from benefiting from a discounted price. It's not a given that the exchange rate will keep improving. According to experts, cash-only travelers should normally avoid converting their currencies before a trip. The majority of the time, it is unneeded and will result in lower conversion rates, according to Macaulay. Instead, experts stated that tourists often receive a better rate when making withdrawals from an ATM in their country of destination. But there are some restrictions. Travelers should make sure that their debit card is accepted at foreign ATMs by calling their bank first. Banks typically impose fees for using ATMs abroad. To avoid paying these costs, visitors should determine how much cash they'll need for the duration of their trip and withdraw it all at once rather than in small amounts. A similar prompt may be used by ATM operators to inquire as to whether users want money with or without conversion. This procedure, often known as dynamic currency conversion, essentially implies that the ATM operator converts currencies rather than the bank. Travelers should refuse the conversion offer, though, because the exchange rate offered by the ATM operator is frequently worse, according to experts. The same rule also holds true for neighborhood businesses that inquire similarly about credit or debit card transactions. What is the cause of the euro's decline? There are worries about an impending recession as countries in the eurozone struggle with high inflation. However, energy prices are the main issue in Europe. The United States and its allies placed a wide range of sanctions and limitations on Russian oil and natural gas when Russia invaded Ukraine. Prices have increased as a result, and Europeans have been particularly heavily struck. There are worries that the scenario in Europe could get worse, despite the fact that gasoline prices have moderated somewhat from record highs and oil prices have just gone below $100 a barrel. The reality that Russia is the continent's main supplier of gas and oil is a major contributing factor. This week, scheduled maintenance on the Nord Stream 1 gas pipeline, which transports natural gas from Russia to Germany, was carried out. The operation is scheduled to take 10 days, but there are rumors that Gazprom may not restart the natural gas supply or that it may restrict its output. Gas rationing in the winter may be necessary in some European nations if they are unable to increase their stockpiles over the summer. This could cause a general slowdown. Reducing production would force factories to lay off workers and increase the likelihood of a recession. Another justification is the special function the dollar serves in the world economy. Jane Foley, head of foreign exchange in Rabobank, asserts that the dollar has unique fundamentals. A currency will often respond to the fundamentals of the nation to which it belongs. The American dollar may not always be like that. It still reigns supreme as a reserve currency. Nations all around the world keep large amounts of dollars on hand because they view them as secure assets. Jane Foley, head of foreign exchange at Rabobank, asserts that stronger currencies are typically correlated with higher interest rates. That's economics from a textbook. That's because in comparison to assets denominated in other currencies, investors start chasing investments denominated in dollars that will yield better returns. Although it's not the only central bank attempting to control inflation by changing interest rates, the Federal Reserve has succeeded better than others thus far. At its upcoming meeting later this month, the European Central Bank intends to increase interest rates. Let us know your thoughts on euro getting equal to dollar in the comment section. And that's all for today. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed it, please like, share and subscribe to our channel Economy Expert for more such amazing content. See you in the next video.